Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, I missed you guys so freaking much. I know the last video that I recorded for you guys was the Atlanta, the second time, y'all know what I'm talking about, the last Atlanta vlog or whatever. But since then I haven't came with anything for you guys, and that's like a lot of for a lot of reasons, but mainly because of like technical difficulties. Like I had to get a new editing software. I'm in the process of getting a new camera, but I was like, I cannot let my babies wait. You know what I'm saying? Candyland, like, I love y'all. So in the meantime, until I get all that straightened out, I did want to come with a story time. But before we get into this story time, you guys, please follow me on Instagram, okay? It will be in the description, but it's Candace on YouTube. I finally have a public Instagram for you guys to follow, so make sure you guys follow me. I only got like 15 followers, so yeah, follow me on Instagram. All right, you guys, so this, I mean, by the title of the story, I guess you guys can obviously see what I'm going to be talking about. It's kind of like, I don't know, we just gonna get into the story time, and then y'all can tell me y'all thoughts and how y'all feel about it, and you know, whatever. So basically, you guys, this happened some years ago, and this is when I was working at, I don't think I've ever did a story time regarding this job that I worked at, but this is a job that I've like worked at like the longest, like and I made like a lot of friends at that job. And if you worked with me at that job, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I had just started at that job, and I was working a shift from like 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the time at that job. And so it was a 24-hour business. So 24 hours, obviously you know that there is like different shifts. So when I would come in at 5 a.m., there was another shift leaving from graveyard, and graveyard got off at 5. Graveyard, I think, was from like graveyard, I don't know what time they started, but they ended at 5, and then we started at 5 or whatever, my little, you know, 5 a.m. crew. So anyways, I had just started at this job, and I had been there maybe like 6 months or so. So I knew the people that I worked with during my shift, but again, like, it was a 24-hour job. So not a 24-hour job, but a 24-hour business. So like, I didn't know everybody that worked there, you know what I'm saying? Like a regular job where it's like a 9 to 5, like those are the business hours. Typically you gonna know everybody that worked there, but I didn't, because you know, I didn't have to work all those hours. Like everybody had their set shift, like it didn't change. Like it was really weird. Like, you know how some jobs, like, oh, you have to work graveyard, you have to, like, no, this job was like, this is your shift, this is what you're working, and it doesn't change or whatever, which was really good because a lot of people needed to have like set schedules, and that job definitely gave you like set schedules. So anyways, I went to I was going into work, and I was clocking in, and I would always see the people from graveyard or whatever, you know, clocking out at the same time as us or whatever. And I would always make like small conversation, whatever, because I was new, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know if they were new, if they've been here, whatever, but I'm just a nice person, like, overall. So, you know, so I like was making conversation, whatever, with everyone, but there was this one girl in particular. We're gonna call her Judy. So basically, Judy, she dressed like a tomboy or whatever, right? But like, I'm not one to assume like right off the bat, just because a person like doesn't dress girly or girly like me, that they're, you know, gay or whatever. But Judy, she dressed like a tomboy or whatever, and like, she just didn't wear girly clothes, like, and that's not like a negative thing, like, I don't want y'all to take that the wrong way, but she just didn't dress girly. So you know, later on, like, just in like passing in a conversation or whatever, someone, either I heard her talking about her girlfriend, or someone told me she had a girlfriend, and I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, I get it, like, you know, she's gay, so cool, like, you know, that doesn't make a difference to me. Like, y'all, I went to Hollywood High School, and literally Hollywood, I would say, was the city itself, but the school is like one of the most diverse. Like, I went to school with people who were, you know, gay, transgender, like all types of stuff. So I'm super used to that. Plus I live in LA. I know sometimes when people live in smaller cities, they're not like used to that, but LA is a huge melting pot of all different type of people. So you know, it doesn't, things like that like don't bother me because I like grew up with, you know, people that come from all different. Put that out there so y'all can see, you know. So yeah, I just kind of found out she had a girlfriend or whatever, and eventually we followed each other on social media. And at the time, I believe Snapchat was really popping, so we only exchanged Snapchats or whatever, and she would upload like snaps and stuff for her girlfriend and stuff like that, whatever. So a couple of months later, there was this movie that came out, and I don't even remember the movie name. I know that, okay, this is really weird, y'all, but it was a scary movie and I forgot. Y'all can comment down below because I really don't remember, but it was like this really haunting type of like theme song. It was like, it was that type of like, I don't know what's the name of this, but whatever, y'all know the name of that movie or whatever. But I didn't really like to see scary movies, but when that movie came out, a lot of people was like gonna go see it, whatever. So one day I was clocking in and she was just like, oh, like, are you gonna go see that movie or whatever? And I was like, nah, probably not. I was like, you know, but if I do go, I'll probably go on my day off. And she was like, what are your days off? And I told her, and she was like, oh, those are my days off too. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, you work graveyard, which would mean that she's off like in the mornings, and then obviously I have to go to sleep early to get up to be at work in the morning or whatever. But she was just like, no, it's no biggie, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, we could just go like together to go see this movie. So I was like, all right, cool, like, you know what I'm saying, we could, you know, go see this movie. Now y'all, like I said, I just started at this job, but I had a friend who I'm still super close with now, but at the time, like, we were just getting to know each other, you know what I'm saying, like we weren't like as close as we are now because we just kind of like met. Her name is Bree. Shout out to Bree if you watching this, girl. Okay, but anyways, so yeah, Bree worked at the job or whatever, and I remember telling Brianna, oh, I'm gonna go to the movies with Judy or whatever. And I think Bree was kind of, I don't know, now that I think back on it, I don't know if Brianna, like, I don't know if she was like didn't want to say it and like ask me like, you know, oh, like, are you gay, or if she just was like, oh, well, I guess Candace is gay, but she never said anything, or I never thought, I don't know. But like, this is me looking back on it, because during the time I really didn't think like anything of it. I was just like, oh yeah, me and Judy are gonna go to the movies, whatever. So the day comes for us to go to the movies, and I'm not gonna say I always dress cute, but anytime I go out, like, you know, I dress the part, like, you get what I'm saying. So we went to this movie theater. I forgot the name of it, but even if I remembered the name, I wouldn't tell y'all because that's a lot of information that y'all don't need to know. Anywho, it was a dine-in. Okay, so if you live in LA, I mean, that pretty much narrows it down to like 3 or 4, so more than likely, you know. Hey, but anywho, it was a dine-in movie theater, and I'm sure y'all have them in other states or whatever, and it's self-explanatory. It's a dine-in, it's a movie, you can sit down, watch a movie, eat, drink, whatever. This was actually my first time going to a dine-in. Like, so we get there, whatever, and she had offered to pick me up or whatever, and I was like, no, like, you know, I may have something to do later. But y'all, when I go anywhere with anyone, whether it's a date or hanging out with friends, I love to drive my own car. Like, you never know what could happen, as far as like, God forbid, like my mom needs me or my niece needs me and I need to just hop in a car and go. Like, I don't want to have to put that stress on other people, so I always have my car with me. And then B, I'm still not thinking nothing of it, you guys, because I'm just like, you know, I don't know, I'm still not thinking anything of it. So we get to the movies or whatever, and when you first walk in, you give them your ticket or whatever, and she had already paid for the tickets, and I was like, oh, like, you know, because I had like was taking my card out, about to buy it. She's like, no, I already got it. And I was like, oh, okay, you know. So we get up there like to the concession stand or whatever, but because it's a dine-in, you have to obviously, I mean, you don't have to, but it's like, what's the point of going to a dine-in if you're not gonna get food? So I was ordering my meal or whatever, and she was about to order too, and so I was standing there with my card out, and she was like, no, like, I have it, like, don't worry about it or whatever. And I'm like, girl, like, let me pay for it, because like, you pay for our ticket, so let me just pay for, you know what I'm saying, our food and stuff. She's like, no, like, I got it or whatever. And I was like, okay, like, whatever, you got it, girl. And it was expensive, okay? Like, I don't know if y'all ever been to a dine-in or but they be taxing. Like, I got a bottle of Dasani water, and it was about $8, but I ended up getting like a burger, some french fries. I think she got like pizza, popcorn, like we got a lot of stuff, and it came to like okay, it was with the tickets, and then that, it was a hefty little bill. So we got in the movie theater, and you know, she was being kind of quiet and I was being kind of quiet, and it wasn't awkward for me. Like, I didn't feel the need to make conversation that you would technically make on a date, because I didn't think that it was a date. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you with your homegirl, you're like, you know, she doing her, I'm doing me. Like, it's not. But you know, if you on a date with somebody, like, you're, oh, so how was your day? I mean, you can still ask your friend how her day is, but y'all get what I'm saying? It's a different type of vibe, you know. But I really couldn't tell what hers was. So in the midst of all this, y'all, my phone goes off, right? And I get a text message. Now, rewind. This job that I worked at, I worked in the travel industry, so I would always come across people from different places or whatever. So I had met a guy maybe some months prior to her asking me to go to the movies with her, and he was from a state that I frequent. I ain't even gotta say the name. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyways, this is years ago, you guys, but I met a guy. He was from a state. He was from Georgia. I can say that. He was from Georgia. And you know, he was cute, and we exchanged information. And no, we didn't exchange information. He had asked me for my number, and I gave him my number. That happened like maybe not months ago, like weeks before she asked me to the movie. So I never heard from this guy. So I'm just like, okay, why would you ask me for your number and not like hit me up? But whatever. Like, I didn't have his information, so I just like was like, okay, whatever. So I'm at the movie, and he texts me. He's like, oh, this is, let's call him Kanan, right? I've been watching Power. So he's like, oh, what's up? This is Kanan. I'm in LA. I'm back. I'm still in LA, whatever. Like, you want to link up? Da, 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 da. So I'm texting him, and I'm like low-key happy because Kanan was fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh my God, like, he texted me, because it's like this happened weeks ago, and I just thought he wasn't gonna hit me up. So I'm literally in my phone texting him, but I don't feel or think that it's rude, because I don't think that I'm on a date. You get what I'm saying? Like, even if you with your friends, I get it, you're not on your phone or whatever, but like, I'm not gonna, me personally, if I'm with my homegirl and it's not like a outing where we're talking about something serious and we're just catching up, like, I'm not gonna be feeling some type of way that she's like on her phone. Like, so that's how I felt when it came to that, because I'm just like, we're not on a whatever. So me and Kanan are texting, and then the movie comes, and then our food comes. So y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, this was probably rude all the way around now that I think about it. But y'all, like, so in the dine-in, you could literally recline back the seats, and it was mad comfortable. Like, these was like some recline, like you could literally go to sleep. They were super like plush and soft, and then it had like this little tray table where they put your food. Like, it was just really, really nice. So y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, like, I got my legs kicked back, I got my phone in his hand, I got the burger in his hand, and I'm watching the movie, I'm texting, like, and I'm not paying her no, I'm not paying her no mind. Now that I think about it, that was really, really rude. So anyways, the movie ends, and she walks me to my car, and I think we just like, we hugged. But y'all, like, it wasn't, I don't know, never during that time did I ever feel like it was a date. Like, never did I feel like it was on some romantic one, because she had a, obviously so okay, here's the thing, y'all. Like, she has a girlfriend, number one, and number two, I feel like, well, because I'm not gay, I don't know how someone who is, I don't know if they would have the conversation beforehand, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't think people would just assume. So I don't know if they'd be like, hey, you know, are you interested in women? Like, so we've never had that conversation. So I never really had a reason to assume. Like, I'm not the type of person where just because I'm going on a date with someone who, you know, dresses like a man, or someone who doesn't dress as girly, or someone who's gay, that they want me. I'm not gonna assume that. Like, I don't know, that didn't go through my mind. So she walked me back to my car, we hugged, that was it. So the next day at work, she just kept on like she was clocking out and I was clocking in, and she was humming the song, na, 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 and I was just like, you know, oh my gosh, haha, like, you know. And so I started to notice that, like, people in the break room would be like, what is this little inside joke that you guys are sharing every single morning? Mind you, it was her, not me. But and so I noticed that every single time somebody would ask, she would like take the like, oh, because me and Candace, we went to go see that movie, and she was like telling people, and at first I was like, oh, like, you know, whatever. But I noticed that it became like a thing. Like, she would do that every single morning. Obviously, if it's 5 o'clock in the morning and you humming the song, people gonna be like, what? Every single morning, mind y'all, it's the same 2 shifts of people who have to like cross paths, like people who are getting off at from graveyard, and the people who are coming in at 5 a.m., which was my little crew. So every morning they seeing us do this little insider type of joke thing or whatever. So she's taking every opportunity to say, me and Candace went to the movies to see this. Yeah, me and Candace was go see this movie. And so eventually, I don't know, I just found it weird. So I remember I was talking to my friend Bree. Shout out to Bree, girl. I love you, Bree. And Brianna was like, girl, like, the reason why she's doing that is because, like, you know, she thought that was a date. And I was like, no. And I'm not being sarcastic, y'all. I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, did not think that she thought that was a date, right? So fast forward, some weeks go by, she kind of lets the joke go, so she's not humming the theme song to whatever movie that is or whatever. Y'all, I'm serious. Please comment down below and tell me the name of that video, that movie, because I just don't remember. Was it Annabelle? I don't know which one it was. But so yeah, some weeks pass by and she's just like, so, you know, since I took you out, like, when are you gonna take me out? And I was like, and I didn't know what to say, because I'm just like, take you out? Like, what do you mean? A, I offered to pay both times. B, it was a one-time thing for me. Like, I don't know. So I was just kind of like, yeah, like, I'll let you know. I was super young. I was like maybe 22. And so I really didn't know how to like ask the question and be like, so, you know, do you think that? And then I didn't want to overstep boundaries and her be like embarrassed, you know what I'm saying? Because I could see how, you know, if you think that someone is into you and then they ask you like, you're not into me, are you? Or something like that. I mean, I would ask her like that. And then B, she has a girlfriend, so like, it was just so weird to me. Like, I just didn't understand, like, you know what I'm saying? And so when I talked to like Brianna about it, my best friend, and they were just kind of like, yeah, Candace, like, you know, she definitely believes that like you guys went on like a romantic date, like you were interested in her, this was like a good to knowing thing, like, and this is supposed to continue. So long story short, y'all, moving forward, I believe I ended up getting a different shift, and not anything to do with her at all. It was just at the time they were doing some changes at our job, and they were offering for certain people who came in at 5 a.m. to come in later. And I didn't mind coming in later because it was really like draining me to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to be at work at 5. But so yeah, so I think I ended up coming in at like 6:30. So of course, if I come in at 6:30 and she's off at 5, we will never see each other unless she's just at the job randomly during the time I'm working, or I'm there in the middle of the night during the time she's working. So we kind of like never seen each other again. She would watch my stories on Snap and I would watch hers. And I think she followed me on Instagram, and then she deleted it. But we just never talked about it. We never seen each other again. We never discussed it or anything like that. So, but yeah, you guys, that was my story time of my date with a woman. Like I said, at the time, I really did not know that it was a romantic thing. We didn't have a conversation, and I don't know, I just didn't, and I felt super bad. But at the same time, I'm like, you got a girlfriend, like, so, you know, these are two things that are going through my mind. Like, A, she never asked me if I was gay, and then I'm thinking, well, maybe she thought because I agreed to go with her that I was. But I'm like, we could have just been hanging out. I just started at this job, I'm getting to know people, whatever. And then I don't know, like, so I guess that was just like a good thing that like I ended up switching to a different shift so it wouldn't be awkward, you know what I'm saying, because I just didn't understand, like, and I know y'all probably watching this like, girl, connect the dots, but that's that, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will have another vlog popping out for you guys. I have actually some really like cool things planned for October for you guys, so stick around. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys follow me on my new Instagram and get me to 20 followers, okay? Because help me out, okay? Help me out, y'all. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.